Hello, everybody. It is me, Ed Briskatuzzi, and today we're here talking about That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, episode 17. Okay, so in the middle of the episode, right before, I've only watched the first 12 minutes, so right before the middle screen, the middle end credit scene, they showed, a huge house that Ramiro was talking to Milliman in, that meeting room. Damn, that house is huge. This whole entire city looks huge. It really, really would have been cool if at the ending of the episode they showed how big the city is. Because in the manga they showed a huge picture showing what the city looks like now. I really wish that they would have shown that because it is a pretty huge place now that they didn't show, and it would have been cool if they would have shown it in the anime before the episode ended. But of course they have to show cliffhanger stuff. But I recently just read this stuff in the manga a few months ago, and I had to re watch it because I uploaded my volume 7 review a few hours ago. And then they showed a cool scene at the beginning of the episode that I didn't see in the manga whatsoever, or maybe it happened in the light novel or something, where they showed the guild leader that had that controlled those adventurers that at the beginning of the series, and they showed him talking to, I guess, the mayor or minister of the town. And I think the town that they're in is called Belmud. I think I'm saying that right. Maybe that's a different place, but they were discussing whether or not Ramiro is a benevolent person or an evil person, and that's it was cool seeing them have that extra scene. It really informed me in how things work. And they also showed Ramiro going to see Vesta again. I think that this part was supposed to happen last episode. Maybe they were supposed to discuss it. Then it was supposed to happen later on. But then it showed them talking about potions and stuff like that. And you saw a little of that in the background when they were talking last episode. But then you see him trying to make a potion. It's Ramiro. It was weird how they're the potions are literally do the exact same thing. But then they were mentioning how 1% difficulty is really weird. Ramiro's healing potion is like those balls that wash you are 99 to 100% effective, but then the king gazelles from the dwarven kingdom's potions that Vesta makes is only 98%, and then he says that only 1% makes a difference. It's still 98%. How can a potion have exhale effects? They even showed Gapta. They showed a Gapta scene where Gapta is just healing like an angel or dying. That seems pretty funny. I like it how they added comedy to him, even though that his scenes are pretty comedic and pretty short, funny scenes. It was cool seeing them adding that in because I don't remember that whatsoever. And then after that, they showed the scene where you got to meet the Demon Lord Carrion's guy, the blonde-haired guy from the opening. Don't think he's in the opening this. I don't think he's in the second opening. I think he was in the first opening, but it was cool seeing how you saw Demon Lord servants come in to try to get Ramiro's town under Carrion's jurisdiction, even though that all the Demon Lords mentioned that they were all just not gonna mess with each other. They were just gonna watch Ramiro, but then he's just already going in just trying to thinking that Ramiro is dumb or something like that, even though that he's pretty smart. And then you saw how Milim wasn't too excited to see it, and you saw her aura appear, and it was pretty funny seeing her aura appear this episode towards that guy. I think his name was Phobia, and it was cool seeing her just have the massive aura, and you said this you see Phobia getting scared and trying to attack her, but then I have no idea why he's trying to attack her when he's weak as hell. Of course, because I think that yeah she's 10 times stronger from last episode. They mentioned that she was 10 times stronger than literally Ramiro. So, and I think that she's also the strongest out of all of the Demon Lords right now. And then you saw her just punch him out, and he just fell on the ground. And you see him just foaming out of the mouth. That reminded me of when Gapta got foamed out of his mouth when he ate Shion's cooking a few episodes back. It was also funny seeing Rigurd's face. You saw how Phobia attacked Rigurd, and then Rigurd got his face blown off. That scene was cool because you saw that in the manga, but it was cool seeing that in the anime they didn't censor it. They didn't censor. They didn't censor his face being burnt off. And then you saw Ramiro just throw his healing potion at him, and then it just splashed on his face, and he's automatically healed. But I'm glad that they didn't censor that because that was a pretty just you're everyone's Ramiro, where they're just huh, how is that even possible? And I also really enjoyed this, especially in the manga, how they showed Ramiro keeps on teasing Milim with food. It just keeps on happening. You would think that even though that she's I think she's over. I think people are saying that she's over 1,000 years old or something like that. So even though that she's been along for a long time, she still has a kid's personality, a lolly's personality, out of nowhere. The talk between Phobia and Ramiro in the town center that I was talking about at the beginning of this episode was kind of different and kind of the same as it was in the manga. There was a lot of scenes where I think that Ramiro in his head was talking with the Great Sage about him being stronger than Phobia, but in the anime he just says it straight out to him. He's just I'm way stronger than you, dude. little tidbit from the manga is that apparently Phobia is a little is stronger than like everyone there. Like he's stronger than Benimaru, I think. Like the great sage said, and I don't know who the strongest servant is that Ramiro has. Friend wise, it's Milim right now, but like servant wise, I have no idea who the strongest is out of all of them. It might be Benimaru, maybe it's someone else. But it was also cool seeing how at the ending of the conversation, Ramiro tried to like gain information from Milim about all the demon lords and stuff like that, and it was cool seeing him like trick her with food, but then or like, try to trick her like trying to like do reverse psychology with her, and you see him just being like, if you tell me information about the other demon lords, I could make you a great weapon if you want me to. And she's just like, a weapon, besties should talk to each other. She just accepts like, and then she just tells Ramiro everything. They also when after the conversation when he was like clarifying what all that Milim said to him, they showed like a straight shot from the manga animated or just like colored, because in the manga they showed a shot of Carry On, Clayman, and Frey, like all of those demon lords, and then they just colored it and then put it they animate, like it's just weird how they just took a shot from the manga and then animated it. And those are I think that's everything that happened in the first 12 minutes of this episode. Those are all the thoughts of the first 12 minutes of this episode. Then yeah, I'll be back in a few minutes to review the rest of this. Okay, I am back. They removed the scene. They removed my favorite scene from my manga review of Volume 7. Because this episode is covering mostly all of Volume 7, saying the same thing as a little bit of last episode. But then when Yum was talking to Ramiro, like on the hill, like they completely just like last episode, they don't show Ramiro turning into a human form because just like someone mentioned in my comments last episode, it takes too much time to make him insane slime form into a human form. When like literally when Yum kneeled down on his knees and then was just like, Ramiro, I pledge my loyalty to you. I'm your master. I don't remember him even saying that in the manga. I think he just said that he would join him. But seeing him just say that was kind of cool. And then after he like kneeled down on his ground, Ramiro was supposed to turn into his human form and then shock Yum and then make Yum blush and make Yum just like act all cute towards Ramiro. Like, man, that scene, I love that scene of the manga. I can't believe they didn't show it here. I was actually waiting for it. Just like last episode when Ramiro and Milam were talking on the stand last episode, he was supposed to be in his human form, but it wasn't. I'm mad, but at the same time, I'm okay with it because at least I'm seeing stuff animated. But then after the mid credit scene, it showed like all the adventurers like meeting up with other adventurers from another like distant town that were made from a bunch of prisoners. I think they mentioned that in this from a different like from a Western kingdom that were sending like these prisoners to just fight for them to fight the Orc Lord because they don't know that the Orc Lord was finished yet. And that's one of the main reasons for why the adventurers from Belmud with Fuse were coming from that adventurer guild. They were fighting like a spider thing, and then you saw how Yum showed an ability. I don't remember Yum showing this ability in the manga. He had like foresight, and he's able to like see far away from like see in like a third person view, and he was able to see the other adventurers when the other adventurers came towards them, and they were like making them they were doing like a trainee thing. I keep on mentioning trainee because the trainee keeps on putting tasks onto other people instead of doing it herself because she doesn't want to. She just wants to relax all the time. So then they were just getting ready to fight the spider, and then Yum just says, "Okay, I need to take lead." So then, as the leader of the group and as the new leader of like another group now, he like gets them all into formation and makes them all get into a fighting formation. And then Gapta the god shows up and then just says, "Oh, you guys are here to. Oh, I remember you guys are the adventurers from before." And then he says, "I'll fight them." Takes his sword, and then he just slices the spider and then kills it instantly. And then it just skips ahead to them in town cooking it, and you see like everyone getting ready to eat the spider that they just defeated. That scene was just like, man, Gapta, just like earlier in the episode, just Gapta, just all around. And then it showed them all like in like that like town hall meeting again, or I guess a different room. He was in a different like section of like the town, I guess, and they were like all having a meeting with the adventurers that we know and the new adventurers, just talking to them and having a meeting. And then you saw how Yum talked down to Ramiro just like Phobia did before. It's like I can't. Why are we talking to a slime when he could literally turn to his human form if he wanted to? But it is funnier because you get scenes like this where you have people question him, and then I think before, like earlier, like in like the previous episode or before, like when before I think before Milam showed up, they were supposed to talk about how even some monsters like talk down to Ramiro sometimes, but then they end up getting beat up by like Shion, Shuna, or Soe, or Benimaru, or Hakuro just out of nowhere because they're like his elite guard. And then you also have like the other like or ogre or I guess Kijin that's not even around anymore, like the big dude. He's just not even around anymore. Like in the manga, he shows up once in a while, but he's just out somewhere else. Just I think he works with the dwarfs most of the time. And then you saw how they were having a conversation about like talking about how he's good or not. And then Fuse wasn't convinced that Ramiro was a good guy. So then he said that some Ramiro suggested that those Venturers should just stay in the town longer and then have fun. And then after that, he like they totally changed the conversation again for the anime, but it did work out pretty well. They make Ramiro seem like the mastermind behind everything, but in the manga, it was actually Fuse that suggested that Ramiro should like have like I guess it was Mir that suggested that Yum should be the champion that like a rumor about Yum was the one that defeated the Orc Lord instead of him. Like have his group defeat like mention to make his name known better throughout the land. And I think it was Fuse that suggested the rumor thing, but instead Ramiro suggested it. So then Yum had to like make a decision. Then they were on the hill where he made the decision to like be the champion and to be fit to spread the rumor around that he was the one that defeated the Orc Lord instead of Ramiro. And then the episode ended with Clayman. Clayman, the scheming demon lord, talking to Tyr, the clown, the drama mask lady. She looks kind of cool. It's weird seeing how it's weird seeing them really colorful because that's what I think my assumption of them being slightly clownish, especially how excited they are and how goofy they are. Uh, one assumption that I made in my manga review is that I was wondering if these like clowns are stronger than demon lords or not. But you saw how Tyr was just able to just teleport. She just opened up a pink portal with her pink hair and then just flow down into the ground. And apparently they're going to summon a monster. I already know what this monster is. Even though that I haven't read that far in the manga yet, I could read that far if I want to, since we're already caught up. And I haven't caught up yet to the manga since I have the manga volume. But they show, I think in the opening song, they showed like a giant like winged monster with arms and one eye in the middle. I think he's probably I'm not going to say that name. That name is pretty hard to say. That monster's name. And Clayman was scheming that he wants to try to tame it and take control of it, so I'm wondering how that's going to work out. And I guess that's all that happened in this episode. This episode was pretty good. I found it pretty good. The animation and like the art still looks pretty good. There's no scenes that look like very like out of order. The colors still look good. The opening and ending song are still pretty awesome. But yeah, I can't wait to see what happens with Clayman and like the monster in the next episode, and to see what Ramiro does in the town with Yum and stuff like that. But yeah, those are all thoughts on this episode. If you enjoyed this review slash discussion slash thoughts on this episode, leave a like. If you didn't enjoy this like whatsoever, then leave a dislike. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week and on Monday. And yeah, bye. See you later.